Hey College Success, welcome to your week 9 assignment video. So we are now officially halfway through our course, which is exciting. We're on the second half of the semester, which is another great time to remind you of your workshop assignment. You want to make sure that you are signing up for your student services workshop, attend it, and send me the certificate of completion. As we get into the second half of the semester, the offerings start to dwindle a little bit. So I want to make sure that you are getting in there, taking a look, registering, and then attending. So let's jump on down to week 9. So week 9, we are in chapter 7. So if you have not already done so, make sure that you take a look at the chapter 7 lecture video that goes over the content for this chapter. So chapter 7 is about thinking, which I know might sound like a little strange, but it's going to talk about like creative thinking, critical thinking, analytical thinking, problem solving, so like different realms of thinking and how that applies to our, not only our academic life, but like our careers and then our everyday personal life. So that's what chapter 7 kind of encompasses. So let's go ahead and go through what you're doing for this week. As you can see, it is a normal week. You have a discussion forum. It is due by Wednesday for week 9 attendance. So you want to make sure that you post by Wednesday to get your full week 7 attendance. Again, if you post late, you can get partial credit, but I just want to remind you all, because I am seeing kind of a pattern, some people are consistently posting late. That does build up, even though you're getting partial attendance, it does build up ultimately, and it can impact your grade. So you want to make sure that you're posting by Wednesday for the full attendance points, and then responded to classmates by Sunday. Again, a response is a meaningful response, not just I agree or good job. It's, a sentence, or it's trying to build off of or ask questions or follow up somehow. So original response by Wednesday, responded to classmates by Sunday. You have a chapter 7 assignment and a chapter 7 quiz. So let's look at the details. So your chapter 7 discussion, because again, this is about thinking, this is specifically addressing creativity, like creative thinking. It says people say creativity is the realm of children, meaning that more often it's children who do a lot of creative thinking. So can you think of how a child's curiosity and willingness to explore may help you understand a college discipline that is unfamiliar to you, or maybe even difficult for you? So it says, write a reflection on how you could use curiosity toward one of your most difficult college courses. So this means, how can being curious, and curiosity can encompass so many things, but think about curiosity, like taking risks, wanting to learn things, asking questions, doing your own research, trying to kind of trial and error, like all those things and more that make up curiosity. Oftentimes kids are the ones willing to do those, and there's lots of reasons that could be, but how can you take those qualities of kind of curiosity that we often see in kids, and how can we apply that to either a class that is really unfamiliar to us or one that is very difficult for us? So that's what you're responding to. Think about one of your classes that you're taking this semester, that you took last semester, that's maybe coming up next semester, that's either going to be difficult or unfamiliar, and how can you apply curiosity and just kind of that creative thinking process to that college subject. Remember, an initial post is 150 words or more, so if you are significantly under, you are seeing those points taken off. So that is your discussion form. All right, chapter 7 assignment. This is an interesting one. This is all about, again, creative thinking. So it says, here's the little scenario. Your institution has cut funding to the library, tutoring center, and the wellness center immediately. You know very well that you and your fellow students will suffer, your success will suffer, because you will not be able to access these services. First, think about what you would do. Like in your mind, is there something that you would do in this situation? Before you go through that, what would these people do? Now, this is a mix of fictional characters as well as real people. Bugs Bunny, if you're not familiar with any of these people, feel free to Google them. Bugs Bunny, a cartoon character. Oprah Winfrey, a really well-known philanthropist, had her own TV show. Bill Gates, into the tech world. Martin Luther King Jr., Mother Teresa, both of which have led different movements that have rippled until today, talking about different populations of people. Jay-Z, an artist. Malala Yousafzai, who is someone she made an impact on the world when she was very young, and she's a little bit older now. And when it comes to like women's rights and things going on in the Middle East. And then Harry Potter, another fictional character. Again, if you're not familiar with a few or any of those, just do a quick Google search so you can kind of get a feel for them. You're going to try to brainstorm if this is a creative thinking exercise. What do you think Bugs Bunny would do? So knowing what you know about Bugs Bunny, would he like build a tunnel inside a bank and rob the bank and then use that money to fund the library? I'm pulling off of what previous students have said before, because that's like a little quirk or a little gimme that Bugs Bunny would do. You know, someone like Jay-Z, obviously maybe music would be a big influence. Would he create a song? Or so you're thinking about what those people would do. Underneath there, of the potential solutions, what's the most realistic? More than likely Harry Potter, Bugs Bunny, they're not going to be very realistic. But which ones are the most realistic, and then which ones are the most exciting? So you want to make sure that you're put in your solutions for each of those, and over here, make sure you save it with your changes. If you do not save it with your changes, I am just getting a blank document. Okay, if you have questions on that, please let me know. Then you want to make sure that you submit it in the Dropbox. The last thing is your Chapter 7 quiz. So again, hopefully something that you are getting very used to. I will say that I'm still having some students maybe trying to upload their quiz from their phone. I cannot open it that way. Blackboard just does not communicate with our phones in that capacity. Chromebooks, MacBooks, all of those I'm still having issues with, and not just me, just Blackboard in general does not do very well with a lot of those. So please kind of just keep in mind that if you have one of those, take some screenshots or send it to me in a PDF if you need to. All right, so here are the Chapter 7 quiz questions. This chapter, or excuse me, question 1 talks about being open-minded. Do you think you're open-minded or not so much? Does it depend on the subject? And then discuss a recent situation where you had to question your open-mindedness. Question 2, there is a quote from Mark Twain saying there's no such thing as a new idea. Do you agree or disagree? And then use some examples to support your opinion. Question 3, have you done anything this semester in a different way than you've done it in the past? If not, would you be willing to? How do you feel about the suggestion? If you did try something different, what was the outcome? Are you going to continue that new way, or are you going to kind of go back to your old way? Question 4, have you, well, hopefully not have you, but when have you used clear and logical thinking to resolve a conflict? It says at work, but I mean, you could also even think about maybe in your home or at school, what happened in the role that you played. And then question 5 talks about metacognition. This chapter does talk about metacognition, the awareness and thinking about our thinking processes. When did you first become aware of your thinking process? When did you question those thoughts and conclusions? Has this changed? So again, all of these questions have to do with the thinking process. Make sure you save that and upload it when you are done. If you have any questions over any of these assignments, please feel free and let me know. I will talk to you later. Have a great week.